University Challenge. Asking the questions, Amol Rajan.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge. Tonight we begin phase 2 of our quarter-finals. All 8 teams will now play for a second time. A second win will see them through to the semis, while a second loss will knock them out of the competition. Teams that have won one game but lost another will need to play a third to decide their fate. Both tonight's teams won their first quarter-final, so whoever wins this match will become this series' first semi-finalists. The team from Manchester survived a tie-break in their first-round match against fellow quarter-finalist Trinity Cambridge. They then made much lighter work of Edinburgh in round 2 and beat Birkbeck in the first of the quarters. They sometimes seem to struggle to commit to a final answer, but have nevertheless scored full marks so far on sets about footballing debuts, the artist Veronica Ryan and the Ashanti people of West Africa. With an average score per game of just under 185, let's meet them for the fourth time.
Hi, I'm Bluma Delos Reyes-White. I'm from Franklin, Massachusetts, and I'm studying genetics.
Hi, I'm Ilya Kuhlman. I'm from London, and I study medicine.
And their captain?
Hi, my name's Harrison Adira. I'm from Letchworth Garden City, and I'm studying for a PhD in materials.
Hi, I'm Dan Grady. I'm from Burton-on-Trent, and I'm studying maths.
The team from Imperial sailed through their first 2 games, dispatching Balliol College Oxford and Lincoln College Oxford without once falling behind on points. They then came up against Sheffield, who gave them much more of a run for their money. In that match, Sheffield were, in fact, stronger on starters, but impressively, Imperial converted nearly 80% of their bonuses, which was enough to give them the edge. Unlike Manchester, they've occasionally been a little hasty while conferring, but have still cleaned up sets on everything from secretory proteins to early modern Spanish literature. With an average score of 245, let's meet them again.
Hi, I'm Justin Lee. I'm from Hong Kong and Canada, and I'm studying chemistry.
Hello, I'm Adam Jones. I'm from Hong Kong and I study computer science.
And their captain?
Hello, I'm Suraya Haddad. I'm from Manchester and I'm studying medicine.
Hi, I'm Shorajit Debnath. I'm originally from Calcutta, India, and I'm currently studying for a Master's in Applied Computational Science and Engineering.
Nice of you to applaud each other. You clearly know the rules by now, so let's get straight into it. Fingers on buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. In 1859, the Principality of Moldavia entered into a personal union with which other principality?
Imperial Lee.
Wallachia.
Correct, Wallachia. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on the Union of South Africa, created in 1910. With the name deriving from Portuguese, which was the easternmost colony to join the Union? Much of its territory included the annexed Zulu lands.
We don't know. We don't know.
The Transvaal?
Go for it.
Transvaal?
No, it's a colony of Natal. Second, a former Boer republic. Which colony was named for the longest river in South Africa? It flows from the Drakensberg Mountains to the Atlantic, forming part of the modern border with Namibia.
Is it Limpopo or is it the Zambezi? Or
Limpopo, Zambezi. Which one are we going?
try Limpopo.
Limpopo.
No, it's the Orange River. Finally, another former Boer republic that had been named the South African Republic. Which colony took its name from a major tributary of the Orange River that formed its southern border with the Orange River colony?
Go for Transvaal. Go for Transvaal.
Transvaal.
Transvaal is correct, yes. Another starter question now. From the Greek for falling off, what term refers to the cellular mechanism which allows cells to self-destruct when
Manchester Delos Reyes-White.
Apoptosis.
Apoptosis is correct, yes, well done. Your bonuses, Manchester, are on films with scores by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis. Give the title of each film from the description. First, a 2022 film by Andrew Dominic, based on a novel by Joyce Carol Oates. It presents a fictionalised account of the life of Marilyn Monroe, played by Ana de Armas.
Nominate Grady.
Blonde.
Blonde is correct. Secondly, also directed by Dominic, a 2007 revisionist western adapted from a novel by Ron Hansen. Brad Pitt and Casey Affleck play the 2 historical outlaws named in its title. I need to hear at least those outlaws' names for these points.
It's the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Nominate Grady.
The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Correct. Finally, a 2009 adaptation of a 2006 novel by Cormac McCarthy. Viggo Mortensen plays the unnamed lead character with Cody Smith-McPhee as his young son.
Nominate Grady.
The Road.
It is The Road, yes. Let's start a question now. In psychology, what three-word term denotes a number of theories of social information processing, an example being the elaboration likelihood model, which attempt to explain approaches to decision-making and problem-solving by positing two separate mechanisms? The first is instinctive, unconscious and fast, and the second is...
Imperial Lee.
Fight or flight?
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. And the second is slower and demands systematic reasoning.
Manchester Senehedira.
Primary or secondary?
No, it's a dual process model. Let's start the question now. Husband and wife composer team Louis and Bibi Barron wrote what is widely regarded as the first fully electronic score for a major feature film. For which science fiction film of 1956, whose characters include Dr. Edward Morbius, his daughter Altera, and Robbie the Robot?
Manchester Grady.
Forbidden Planet.
It is Forbidden Planet, yes. Your bonuses then, Manchester, are 3 questions on my hero, the Australian cricketer Shane Warne, who died in 2022. The so-called ball of the century, delivered by Warne in the 1993 Ashes, took the wicket of which English batsman? It was his first Test wicket in a Test match in England.
Ball? No, surely not. It's like 91.
Or Strauss?
Isn't it like in 91 or something? 91?
It was a while ago, yeah. I really don't know.
Vaughan or Strauss? No. Vaughan?
That is an appalling answer. It's Mike Gatty. Out by more than a decade. Anyway, Warne played for which team in the county championship between 2000 and 2007, becoming captain in 2005? A stand at their home ground is named after him.
I'm very happy when these bonuses came up. Yeah.
Kent, Yorkshire.
Yeah, just name a county that plays cricket, to be honest. I've got no idea.
Sorry. Sorry?
It was Hampshire. This is a terrible betrayal of one of the icons of sport, you know. With 708 to his name, Warne held the record for the most Test match wickets until he was overtaken in 2007 by which other spin bowler?
Morley.
Correct, yes. Now let's start a question now. What colour links all the following? The leaves referred to in the second line of Shakespeare's sonnet that begins, "That time of year thou mayest in me behold." In Browning's dramatic monologue, Porphyria's hair that her lover uses to strangle her. And...
Imperial Haddad.
Gold.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. And the fog that rubs its back upon the window panes in Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock.
Manchester Grady.
Silver.
No, it's yellow. Now let's start a question. Which letter of the Greek alphabet can be used to represent all of these? In mathematics, the Levi civitar, or permutation symbol. In chemistry, the molar...
Imperial Debnath.
Epsilon.
Epsilon is correct, yes. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on scientists. All 3 surnames begin with the same letter. First, which Dutch physicist shared the 1902 Nobel Prize with Hendrik Lorentz? He gives his name to an effect in which a spectral line splits into closely spaced components when the light source is placed in a magnetic field.
Zeeman.
Zeeman.
is correct. In 1933, which Swiss astronomer inferred the existence of dark matter when investigating the Coma cluster of galaxies?
I think it's Fritz Vicky, is it?
Could be.
Okay, nominate Jones.
Fritz Vicky.
Correct. Which US psychologist was the principal investigator in the Stanford prison experiment of 1971?
Milgram, right? Stanford prison experiment. Zimbardo, is it?
I think it wasn't Milgram, it was somebody else.
We should go for Milgram. We're short on time.
Okay, Milgram.
No, it was Zimbardo. About that. Let's start a question, and this is a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a diagram showing the team lineups for a men's Football World Cup final. For 10 points, give the year in which that final took place.
Imperial Lee.
2002?
Nope.
Manchester Coolman.
1994.
Nope, it's 1970. We'll take your picture bonuses when you get another starter right. Convicted in absentia for trafficking cocaine in the Netherlands in 1999 and in 2019 for ordering extrajudicial killings during his time in power, Desi Bouterse ruled which South American country following a military coup in 1980 and was president from 2010 to 2020?
Manchester Coolman.
Suriname.
Suriname is correct, yes. Your picture starter a moment ago was the lineup for the 1970 Men's World Cup final between Brazil and Italy, the first time 2 previous winners had played each other in the final. For your picture bonuses, 3 more sets of Men's World Cup final lineups. And again, I simply need the year when each took place. Firstly?
Pele, that's Sweden, so that's 1958.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's Pele's first.
1958.
1958.
It is, yeah. Brazil beat Sweden 5-2. Secondly?
OK, Germany.
That's Germany versus...
Oh, Maradona.
Maradona, so that's going to be, what, is it 74? When he won?
No, that's too early.
78?
Or is it 82 or 86?
Oh, maybe 86, actually, 86.
Go 86, yeah.
86?
No, it was 90. West Germany 1, Argentina 0 was the score there. Thirdly,
That's Germany versus Brazil.
so is that 2002?
2002.
2002.
it was 2002, yeah, Brazil beat Germany 2-0. Let's start the question now, plenty of time, Imperial. I need a three-word answer here. Toads, beehives, spaceships of various sizes and pulsars are the names given to patterns found in which Turing-complete cellular automaton...
Imperial Jones.
Game of Life.
Game of Life is correct, yes, well done. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on terms relating to the philosophy of Jacques Derrida. What specific term denotes the broad approach to textual analysis first developed by Derrida in Of Grammatology? It rejects the possibility of finding definitive meaning in a text and focuses instead on explicating multiple and contradictory meanings.
This is just postmodernism.
Sure. Postmodernism?
No, sorry, that's not specific enough. It's deconstruction. Second, closely related to his concept of différance, what five-letter word recurs throughout Derrida's writing to express various aspects of the unstable relationship between sign and signified, such as the phantom presence in any sign of what it doesn't mean?
Anything?
No.
OK, pass.
Trace. What Greek-derived term does Derrida use critically to refer to philosophical approaches that presuppose language as it is used to be an imperfect representation of a truth or meaning existing separately from it?
Nothing. OK, pass.
It's logocentrism. Let's start a question. Largely confined in the UK to the Caledonian pine forests and Scots pine plantations, which small bird, a member of the tit family, is the emblem of the Scottish Ornithologists Club? Despite its somewhat drab plumage, it is being described as the punkiest of all the tit species.
Manchester de los Reyes White.
Is it the Scottish crossbill?
No.
Imperial Jones.
Great tit.
No, it's the crested tit. Let's start a question. In which large Welsh county are all of the following located? The National Botanic Garden of Wales, the grave of Dylan Thomas, and the towns of Ammanford, Kidwelly and Llanelli.
Manchester Coolman.
Powys.
No.
Imperial Jones.
Gwynedd.
No, it's Carmarthenshire. Let's start a question. In English, what three-word name is shared by the home ground of the Portuguese club Benfica and another stadium located in northeast England, which in...
Stadium
Imperial
of Light.
Lee.
Stadium of Light.
Stadium of Light is correct, yes. Your bonuses then, Imperial, are on a work of mythology. Samguk Yusa is a collection of the myths and legends of which people? Its title translates as Memorabilia of the Three Kingdoms.
This is Korean.
Nominate Lee.
Korean.
Correct. Samguk Yusa is an early source for the legend of which founder and god king of Gojoseon, the first Korean kingdom?
Bangun.
Nominate Lee.
Bangun.
Correct. Finally, the three Korean kingdoms mentioned in the work's title refer to Goguryeo, Baekje, and which other kingdom that would unite the peninsula?
Silla.
Nominate Lee.
Silla.
Silla is correct. Well done. Let's start a question. After technetium, which has the atomic number 43, what is the chemical element with the next lowest atomic number to be exclusively radioactive, with no stable isotopes? This lanthanide metal is named after the Greek Titan who stole from Mount Olympus to give to...
Manchester Senehedira.
Promethium.
Promethium is correct, yes. Your bonuses then, Manchester, are three questions on an Italian island. Located at the northern end of the Gulf of Naples, which volcanic island is Italy's third most populous island after Sicily and Sardinia?
Capri, maybe, yeah.
Capri.
Ischia. One of Ischia's main tourist attractions, La Mortella, is the former home of which British composer who lived there from 1956 until his death in 1983? His compositions include marches for the coronations in 1937 and 1953.
Britain.
No, it's Sir William Walton. Ischia was a location used to represent the fictitious resort of Mongibello, in which 1999 film starring Matt Damon and Gwyneth Paltrow, and based on a novel by Patricia Highsmith.
Time to Mr. Ripley.
Talent to Mr. Ripley.
The Times Mr. Ripley is correct, yeah. Music round now. And for your music starter, you'll hear a piece of popular music. For 10 points, name the artist performing.
Imperial Jones.
Gil Scott-Heron.
Of course it was Gil Scott-Heron, yes. I followed on from his The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, recorded in 1970. For your music bonuses, you're going to hear three spoken word tracks from the 2010s and 2020s. Name the artist or group in each case. First, this artist.
My visionary is a vision. I watch her dancing by the window, and it rips my
Do you know any spoken word artists or...
Just think of Cleo Soul. And the whole world is just
Because you just know
ripples.
whatever you want.
Cleo Soul.
No, that was K Tempest. Secondly, this group.
flies to Paris, France. I come down into her childhood bed and write the words all in English that I had never said. Now all that I became is by a form.
Pass.
Black Country and New Road. Finally, this band.
I've come to hand with my own bugbear ladder in a few short sessions. It's a Tokyo bouncy ball, it's an Oslo bouncy ball, it's a Rio de Janeiro bouncy ball.
Pass.
It was dry cleaning. Let's start a question. Which writer and cultural critics' works include Feminist Theory from Margin to Centre, Killing Rage, Ending Racism, and The Will to Change, Men, Masculinity and Love? Born Gloria Jean Watkins in 1952, she taught on gender, race and economic inequality at institutions...
Imperial header.
Gloria Steinem.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. At institutions such as City College of New York and Yale University.
Manchester Grady.
Judith Butler.
No, it was Bell Hooks. Now let's start a question. In either French or English, what general name for a type of insect appears in the titles of all of the following works? A 2000 piece for solo cello by Kaya Sariaho, a 1908 work for piano by Samuel Coleridge Taylor, an early suite of piano pieces by Robert Schumann, and a 1904 opera set in Nagasaki.
Imperial Jones.
Butterfly.
Butterfly is correct, yes. 3 questions for you, Imperial, on a coordinate system in mathematics. Developed by Newton, what name denotes the two-dimensional coordinate system where points in space are given by both an angle made with an initial line and a distance from a central point?
Polo.
Nominate Dave Nath.
Polo.
Polo is correct, puts you into the lead. What name is given to the family of curves whose equation in polar coordinates takes the form r equals a plus b cos theta? It takes its name from the Latin for snail.
Cochlear?
Oh, Cochlear sounds good. Yeah. Cochlear.
No, it's limaçon. What name is given to the limaçon r equals a plus b cos theta in the special case where a equals b? Its name comes from the Greek for heart-shaped.
Cardioid.
Okay, cardioid.
Cardioid is correct. Let's start a question. The hypothetical friend of a Hungarian-American physicist known for work in group theory and atomic physics features in a thought experiment regarding which mathematical object, usually denoted by the Greek letter psi. A similar thought experiment...
Manchester Senehedira.
Wave function?
Wave function is correct, yes. Your bonuses, Manchester, are on works named in a 2021 Penguin list of the best short stories ever written. In each case, identify the US author of the story for the title and description. First, The Yellow Wallpaper, an 1892 tale of a woman confined to a nursery on the top floor of a rented mansion. It is a pioneering treatment of women's mental health issues.
She's got 3 names, hasn't she?
Yeah.
2 of them are Charlotte Perkins.
Charlotte Perkins.
Gilman?
I don't know, I can't.
So, we've got alphabetical, haven't we? But
Charlotte Perkins Gilman?
It's correct. Secondly, The Swimmer, a 1964 story described by Penguin as a freewheeling, gin-soaked journey through the back gardens of suburbia.
I think that's John Cheever.
Nominate Grady?
John Cheever?
It is John Cheever. Well done. Finally, The Telltale Heart, an 1843 story narrated by a murderer whose paranoia increases as he attempts to prove his sanity.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, Allan Poe.
It is Edgar Allan Poe, yes. Let's start a question now. In Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, what 3-word question is answered? Quote, "'Tis not hereafter, present mirth hath present laughter," in a song sung by Feste? No, I'll tell you. It's what is love? Another starter. Consider the 3 colours on the flag of Madagascar. These may be rearranged to form the vertical tricolour of which European country?
Manchester Coolman.
Bulgaria?
No.
Imperial Lee.
Italy.
Italy is correct, yes. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on pragmatic sanctions in European history. The Pragmatic Sanction of 1549 reorganised the 17 provinces of the Low Countries into one political entity and consolidated which royal house's inheritance of the territory?
Habsburg.
Yeah. Habsburg.
Correct. The Pragmatic Sanction of 1830, issued by Ferdinand VII of Spain, allowed for his daughter to inherit the throne, thus displacing his brother, the Count of Molina, from the line of succession. The Count gives his name to what reactionary political movement that arose from this succession dispute?
Carlism.
Correct. The Pragmatic Sanction of 1713 was issued by Holy Roman Emperor Charles VI and ensured which royal figure's inheritance of the Habsburg domains? The inheritance led to the War of the Austrian Succession.
Marie Theresa.
Yes, correct. Let's start the question now. In March 2023, Great Britain made its debut appearance in the WBC, a major international tournament for which sport? The eventual champions were Japan, who defeated the USA 3-2.
Imperial Lee.
Baseball.
Baseball is correct, yes. Your bonuses, Imperial, are 3 questions on architecture. UNESCO cites which British city for its uncommonly high concentration of planned ensembles of ashlar-faced, world-class neoclassical buildings associated with architects including John and Robert Adam and Sir William Chambers?
Edinburgh.
I was going to say it sounds a bit Scottish.
Brighton?
Sorry?
Brighton, maybe? Sounds like Edinburgh.
I'll go for Edinburgh.
Edinburgh?
Edinburgh is correct. Next, Nicholas Pevsner described St George's Hall as the freest neo-Grecian building in England and one of the finest in the world. This hall lies close to a major railway terminus in which northern city?
York? Durham? Let's go for York.
York.
It's Liverpool. Joseph Aloysius Hanson designed the striking neo-Grecian town hall of which large city? It is located on Victoria Square near the river, a modern sculpture sometimes known as the floozy in the jacuzzi.
Lucy sounds a bit Scottish again.
Go for Glasgow.
Glasgow?
It's Birmingham. Let's start a question, and this is a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a picture of a political figure. For 10 points, name them.
Imperial Lee.
Lukashenko?
No.
Manchester Coolman.
Tito.
No, it is Lech Wałęsa. We'll take your picture bonuses when you get another starter right. Born in 1943, Mohammed Ibrahim Wassame, known as Hadrawi, meaning master of speech, was a poet from which East African country? His notable works include protest poems against the dictatorial regime of Siad Barre in the 1970s.
Imperial Lee.
Somalia?
Somalia is correct, yes. Well, a moment ago, your picture starter was a picture of Lech Wałęsa, leader of the anti-Soviet solidarity movement in Poland. For your picture bonuses, I want you to identify 3 more people who led anti-Soviet campaigns, but somewhat less successfully. First, for 5 points, who is this?
Anyone?
Could it
Sorry.
be Imre Nagy from Hungary?
Nominate Lee.
Nash?
That's correct, yes. He's the leader of the 1956 Hungarian Revolution. That's correct. Secondly?
Could be Tito? I don't know.
Okay.
He's in a Chairman Mao suite.
Yep, I'm just going to guess Tito.
No, it's Nestor Makhno, who's leader of the Revolutionary Insurgent Army of Ukraine during the Russian Civil War. And finally?
Anything? I don't recognise this guy.
It could be Václav Havel.
Nominate Lee.
Václav Havel?
No, it's not Havel, it's Dubček, who led the Prague Spring. Another starter question now, plenty of time, Manchester. In topology, what adjective denotes any surface that is two-sided and therefore allows a consistent definition of clockwise and anti-clockwise at any point on it, unlike...
Imperial Deepnath.
Orientable?
Correct, yes. Your bonuses then, Imperial, are 3 questions on bridge designs. In what class of bridge is the light deck structure hung from cables that are connected directly to the ground on either bank, usually held above the roadway by towers?
Suspension.
Yeah. Suspension?
Correct. Similar in appearance to the suspension bridge, in which class of bridge is the deck attached directly to the bridge's towers by taut wires?
Well, do you know any other bridge types?
Bascule Bridge, maybe?
Sorry?
Bascule Bridge.
Is it cantilever?
Go for Sirijic.
Cantilever?
No, it's cable stayed.
Okay.
What class of bridges features a light central section supported by beams extending from piers or either bank, with the beam supported at only one end?
Is that a cantilever? Maybe?
Oh, okay, yeah. Cantilever?
Cantilever is correct, yeah. Let's start a question. Give the single full decade during which all of the following were alive. The novelist Emily Bronte, the mathematician Sophie Germain and Évariste Galois, the slave rebel Nat Turner, and also Karl Marx and...
Imperial Lee.
1820s?
1820s is correct, yes. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on Canadian provincial capitals. In each case, I need both the name of the capital city described and the province of which it is the capital. First, which provincial capital is named after the wife of George III? The province itself is named after their 4th son, the Duke of Kent.
Capital and province.
Well, is it Prince Edward Island and then...
No, yeah, go for that.
What's the capital?
Capital.
Is it Adelaide or something? Go for that.
Okay, I'm going to nominate you, Justin, okay?
Okay.
Nominate Lee.
Adelaide, Prince Edward Island?
No, so I need both, and it's Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Bad luck. Second, which provincial capital is named after the Duke of York, who was the 2nd son of George III and Queen Charlotte? Remember, I need the city and the province.
Okay, so it's New Brunswick and Fort William, maybe?
New Brunswick and Fort William.
Bad luck. It's Fredericton and New Brunswick. Finally, which Western provincial capital bears the given name of the historical figure also referenced in the name of the capital of Saskatchewan? Again, I need both the city and the province.
So it's Victoria and British Columbia.
Victoria and British Columbia.
Got there in the end. Well done. Let's start a question. In 2021, for a project relating to rainforest revival, the Republic of Costa Rica won the Protect and Restore Nature category of which newly established environmental prize created by Prince William?
Imperial Haddad.
Earthshot?
It was the Earthshot. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on common scientific terms that were coined by the Swedish chemist Berzelius. Give each word from the definition. First, a collective term for the elements in Group 17 of the periodic table. This term refers to their behaviour in reactions with metals.
Halogens? Halogens.
Okay. Halogens.
Correct. Secondly, the process of changing the rate of a chemical reaction through introducing a substance which itself is chemically unchanged by the reaction.
Okay. Catalyst.
No, I can't accept that, I'm afraid. I think you know, the team knows this. Catalysis is the process. Right, finally, the occurrence of a chemical element in two or more forms differing in structure and physical properties.
No. Allotrope, yes.
Okay. Allotrope.
Correct, yes. Let's start the question now. Consisting of ammoniacal silver nitrate in an alkaline solution, which reagent, named for the German chemist who discovered it?
Manchester Grady.
Tollens?
Tollens is correct, yes. Your bonuses, Manchester, are on marine zoology. In each case, I need the name of the phylum, for example, arthropods, that includes the following. First, nudibranch and quahog.
I think that's
Is that like a worm or something, like a flatworm type thing?
no, they're like clams, but the other one, brachiopods.
Brachiopods?
Yeah.
Is that a phylum?
Brachiopods.
Come on.
Yeah.
Brachiopoda.
No, it's mollusk. Second, sea urchin, sea cucumber and starfish.
Echinoderms?
No idea.
Yeah, I think they're echinoderms, but I don't know if that's the phylum.
Nominate Delos Rose White.
Echinoderms?
Correct. Finally, albacore, leafy sea dragon and dugong.
Vertebrates. Chordata.
Chordates.
Chordata is correct, yes. Another starter question now. Name either of the two states of the USA that each border 8 neighbouring states.
Imperial Lee.
Nevada and Indiana.
No.
Manchester de los Reyes White.
Massachusetts?
No, it's Missouri or Tennessee. Right, another starter question. Name either of the only 2 languages which are both members of the Austroasiatic family and have official status as national languages.
Imperial Lee.
Cambodian and Vietnamese.
Yes, that's correct, yes. Your bonuses, Imperial, are 3 questions on Queen Elizabeth I and her court. Who was the Chief Secretary of State for the majority of Elizabeth's reign and was appointed Lord High Treasurer in 1572? And at the gong, Manchester University have 120 and Imperial have 205. Manchester, I thought you were going to, after pulling away with this early lead, you had this little dip in the middle, and I thought you were going to pull off one of your electrifying comebacks. And then you didn't. But we certainly haven't seen the end of you because you guys get another chance. So that was incredibly well played against an incredibly tough team. But we shall see you again. This isn't the end of the road for you guys by any means. Imperial, to get 205 at this stage of the competition against an incredibly impressive team is phenomenal. So you're our first team through to the semi-finals. Congratulations, you and your slightly eccentric mascot. Very, very good. I hope you can join us next time for another quarter-final match. But until then, it's goodbye from Manchester.
Bye.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Imperial.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.